Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my self-care routines and some of the things that I do to make me feel better or just to be my best self. I do recognize that self-care means different things to everybody. So my version of self-care may not be your version of self-care, and that's okay. But what I want to share with you are some of the things that have really helped me navigate through life in my 50s and especially through menopause. These are things that I do just to make me feel better, look better, and just be a better version of myself. It was really hard for me to pick, but what I really wanted to show is that while some of the things that I'm going to be talking about are grand and they're big, involved things, there are other things that I do that I selected that are small things, but really, really make me feel wonderful. So, it really runs the gamut. I mean, there's all kinds of different things that you can do and that are part of self-care. So I thought I would share those with you. But I do want to say a few things. Number one, I'm not a doctor. I am not an expert. And I take very seriously the fact that I am potentially influencing you. So I want to say this. I think like with everything, you really have to take everything with a grain of salt. And if it interests you, do further research and determine what's right for you. I have certainly been influenced, and I will still always do my research on a product that somebody is trying to push forward. Whether or not they're making a commission, there's always an angle somewhere, somehow. But I still put it upon myself to do the research and make sure that it is right for me or that the product is not going to hurt me, because all of our bodies are different, our health needs are different. So that's the only thing that I want to say. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just really want to share what I do, and it's been a long time since I've done one of these, so I thought that I would do one. So let's get comfortable. If you want, grab a nice beverage and let's get into it. All right, I want to get into my skincare routine, and I want to share with you where I finally landed. I have certainly been on a journey and I have had some challenges with my skin, but I feel like finally I'm at a place where I really figured out what works for me, but it has really taken me some time. Now, there's just a couple of things that I want to share before I jump into it. First of all, I don't believe that you should spend a lot of time with your routine. My routine takes me 5 minutes or less. It is a 6-step process, both morning and night. And I don't believe that you should spend a lot of money on your routine. I just don't. That's my personal opinion. But I also recognize that time and money is really subjective. You may look at my routine and you may say, gosh, Elvia, you do spend a lot of time or you do spend a lot of money. So I do recognize that it is subjective, but in my opinion, I feel like for what I have researched and what I've come up with, I feel like I've landed in a pretty good place. So I wanted to share that with you. All right. My morning routine is a 6-step process. So the first thing that I do is I do not wash my face in the morning. Unless I've been working out or I feel like my skin is dirty, I don't wash it. Instead, I splash it with the coldest water that my face can handle. And I feel like that really just, first of all, just cleanses any kind of surface dirt that there might be on my skin. But I also feel like it sort of reduces any inflammation that I may have. And it feels really, really good. Shocking, but good. I then will follow that up with a vitamin C serum. And currently I am using the Prequel vitamin C serum, which I'm really, really liking a lot. I also really like the Beauty Pie. I do love Beauty Pie's products, and I used to use the Beauty Pie vitamin C serum. I think that when I'm done with the Prequel, I'm going to go back to the Beauty Pie, not because anything's wrong with it. I think this is really great, but this just has a few more actives. This will typically last me about 6 to 8 weeks. A little goes a long way, and both of these are under $30. In fact, this one I think is $28. I'll put everything up above, and I believe this one is $22. But they're both very, very good. But I think this one is a little bit better just because it has more actives in it, and at my age, I'll take all the help that I can get. All right, after my vitamin C, I like to follow that up with another serum, and another one that I've really been loving for some time now is Beauty Pie. They have a line called Youth Balm, and this is their Radiance Hydrating Serum, and I'm really, really loving this one. This one is really pricey in my opinion. This one is $49, but this one lasts quite a long time. I use it every day in the morning, but I also use it at night, but I don't use it every single night. So I kind of alternate it. This one will last me easily 8, maybe 10 weeks. So a little, again, goes a long way. All right. Once I'm done with vitamin C and my serums, I like to add levels of hydration. So I am currently loving and using this Prequel half and half. This is a liquid moisturizer. It's got peptides and ceramides, and I love this. The only thing that I don't like about it, it's my only complaint, is the packaging. When I shake this up, it sort of leaves a mess in the cap. It leaves a mess around the neck of the bottle, and then sometimes it transfers down below, and it's just kind of annoying. So I feel like I'm always having to kind of wipe it up to put it onto my face. It's really, really annoying. So that's the only complaint that I have, but otherwise the formulation is fantastic. The other one that I do use is another Beauty Pie item, and this is the triple hyaluronic acid, which I really, really love. And this is the one that I've been using forever and ever, and then I just wanted to try this. Honestly, I actually think this one is a lot nicer, but again, the packaging is kind of annoying. All right, 2 last steps in my morning skincare routine, and that is the moisturizer. Currently, another Prequel product is this AM PM one. I love this one. It's fantastic. I will be repurchasing this. I like it because it is very emollient. It's very moisturizing, but it's not greasy. It really absorbs into the skin quickly and nicely. I really, really like this one a lot, so I'll use this in the morning. The last step in my AM routine is sunscreen. That is a non-negotiable. Even if I'm working from home and I think I'm going to be inside all day, I will still wear sunscreen because you just never know, and it's so important to me. The one that I have really been enjoying is this Beauty Pie item. This is the Traceless Mineral Sunscreen. This is an SPF 30. I really, really like this a lot. This is $24. This will last me about 5 to 6 weeks, mostly around 5 weeks. I do buy this one in bulk. I buy 3 for $60, which comes out to about $20. So there's about a $4 savings if you were to buy the bulk versus just buying an individual bottle. I think this is really fantastic. The reason why I really, really love this is that it's also a primer, and it plays really nice with my foundation, which I think is a big consideration. I love the fact that I can put this on and within 5 minutes I can also apply my foundation. I've had sunscreen where it doesn't play nice with foundation, and if you don't wait long enough, it makes your foundation really cruddy and yucky, but this one plays very, very nicely. Okay. When it comes to my nighttime routine, another 6 steps, and this really takes me all of 5 minutes. So at night, I will take off my makeup, sunscreen, mascara with this Garnier makeup balm. This is called the Erase It All. Now, I have a pet peeve about these makeup balms. They're so expensive. They're like $25 or more, and I think that's ridiculous. You're just putting grease on your face to sort of remove all the stuff that's really stuck onto your face. I have a problem with paying that much money for it. And this one is $11. This will last me 10 weeks plus. It's fantastic. There's different types or different ones. This one has hyaluronic acid. It's unscented, and I love it. It's a great, great value. So I start off with this. I will then follow this up with a cleanser. I will wash my face, and I'm currently loving this CeraVe Hydrating Foaming Oil Cleanser. This one is fantastic. I also do like the La Roche-Posay. Any one of their cleansers are really, really fantastic, but right now I'm using the CeraVe. I will then follow that up with the Ordinary Niaminoside. I suffered from rosacea. It was extremely, you know, it sounds like I'm being dramatic, but it was very, very traumatic for me. I was so ashamed, so embarrassed. And I started to use this. I did some research many, many years ago, and I found that this could really help with that. And it did. I would say within the first month I started to see results. And after 3 months, it sort of just really diminished it. And now I don't even think about it at all. I don't even like, it's not even like something I like, oh my God, my rosacea. I have a little bit, but I think that's more to do with my age. I think as you get older, it's certainly something that older women have to contend with, in my opinion, but I don't even think about it at all. But I still continue to use it because I'm so traumatized that I feel like if I don't use it, it might come back. Same as in the morning, I always like to add another serum. And as I mentioned, the Beauty Pie Youth Balm is something that I will also apply at night. This one is fantastic, so I'll do that. And then I am always looking to add a layer of hydration. So again, I will go in with the Prequel half and half, the ceramide and peptide. I'll just add that nice layer of moisturizer to my face. And then at night, I like to use a little bit of a heavier moisturizer. I really love this Kiehl's Ultra Facial cream. This one is really fantastic. I like it so much that whenever they're running a 30% off sale, I'll tend to stock up so that I'm not paying as much for it. So I'll stock up and I'll have two. This will last me quite a long time. I don't really use very much. This will easily last me 6 to 8 weeks, so I really get a lot of bang for my buck. All right, so there you have it. I've made a few tweaks over the years, but overall, that is my skincare routine, and I'm really, really happy with it. My skin has just been so happy, I would say for the past 5 years. I've really, really figured it out, and it makes me so, so happy. Good morning, everyone. I like to start off the day with some water and then I move on to my tea. This is just my little ritual in the morning. It's just so soothing, but I like to have the dandelion root tea. And the reason why I love it is because it supports my liver. Your liver is really the filtration system of the body. It really helps metabolize nutrients. It breaks down toxins so that they go through the body. It really is good for the overall metabolism. It helps aid in digestion. It's good for your overall skin health, and it just boosts your energy. So anything I can do to support it, I'll do that. But it's also just my quiet time, my happy time, and I really enjoy this every morning. Cacao has a really good amount of magnesium, potassium, and iron. I don't really need as much iron anymore, obviously, because I'm in menopause, but just wanted to share the benefits of it. So it's really, really good for you. It's especially good for me when I'm winding down. And so what I like to do is I'll mix it with some almond milk and a little bit of xylitol. Xylitol, for those of you that don't know, it is a natural sweetener that's derived from the bark of a birch tree. I know that sounds crazy, but it looks like sugar and it tastes like sugar. I don't use very much, but I do like a little sweetness in my cacao. And I recently started making my own almond milk. I've used to make it all the time, and I have this really cool machine that makes it for me. And I just stopped doing it, and I started buying the one from Trader Joe's. The problem is that they started to add fillers into it and gums, and it was making me inflamed. So I knew that I had to stop that. So I went back to making it, and yeah, I'll show you the machine. But I typically make this in the evening. I will then kind of sit down and kind of collect myself and, you know, just be still for a moment, and then I might do a little bit of reading, but it's sort of become my habit. Sometimes I'll make it in the morning, particularly on the weekends. It's just something so comforting about drinking a warm cacao, like on a Saturday morning when it's really, really quiet and no one is up or awake. it just feels, there's something about it that just feels really lovely. So let me show you the machine that I have. I just made a fresh batch of almond milk, so I want to make myself a nice drink. It's evening time, it is the end of the day for me, and I just want to unwind. So let me show you. All right, I've got some almonds here because I'm going to make some more. I bought a bunch of these bottles. I think I got them on Amazon, and I just make the milk and then I just store it in here. It's super, super easy, but you can see I've got some almonds here that are soaking because I'm going to make, this will yield about 3 more of these bottles. If you soak them, you only need to use half of a cup. So I've got those going for another time, but this is the machine and it's really, really cool. It's called the Almond Cow. That's the one that I bought. And I bought this probably 10 years ago. And I stopped using it for a while, but now I'm back. So basically it's got these blades. And what you do is you fill this, it's like you can't see it, but it's a stainless steel, it's a mesh. And you put the almonds in here and you'll put in here like some sea salt, and then you add this here and then you attach it. So it's attached to the contraption, and then you add water. There's a max or a min line, and you fill the water to that level, and then you can add things. You can flavor it. They've got all kinds of recipes. You could add vanilla extract. You could add date syrup if you wanted. You could add sugar. You could add whatever you want and just flavor it up. And then basically you just put this down. There's a button, it's like a little almond. You press the button and it does 3 cycles, and then when it's done, you are able to lift it. And because it's got this funky thing on the bottom, it comes with this cup, and you just kind of lay it down like that. And then this is filled with fresh milk, and then you just pour it into your bottles. So I really love this. I'm really happy that I bought this, and I went to the website to see if they changed it, and it still is the exact same thing. So I'll put the link down below in case you're interested. It's the Almond Cow, and you can do any kind of nut milk. You could use cashews, I mean, whatever your heart desires. Afterward, you get a bunch of pulp, and they give you ideas. You could make crackers with that pulp. You could compost it. You could put it into your oatmeal for extra fiber. You could do all different kinds of things with it. But anyway, that's what I do. I'm going to go sit down and I'm going to enjoy this and do a little bit of reading and just wind down before I get ready for bed. Cheers. Here's another thing that has become a habit. It's this morning smoothie that I have. And honestly, I started it off with a program that I was doing, a hormone balancing program, and I dreaded it. I despised this smoothie. But over time, I became sort of used to it, and my body just craves it now. And it's made me so regular. I know it's TMI, but it's the little things in life that make you so happy as you get older. But now I crave it and I love it. And I'll tell you that even if I go out to breakfast on the weekends, I will come home and I will make this smoothie. There's just something about it that really has me in a chokehold, and I love it. I love it so much. Hi everyone, let's talk about red light therapy. Let's talk about my journey. Let's talk a little bit about the science, and then I'll show you the device that I use. So about 12 years ago, I got into my overall health. I've always been into my health. I always have, and I've always been into alternative methods of taking care of myself. But I really took a deep dive and went down a rabbit hole because it really hit me that I was about to enter menopause and that I was getting older. It really, really hit me. And it became so important to me, and it still is, to make sure that I set myself up, my body up, so that I can be healthy as I get older. So going down that rabbit hole, I came across red light therapy, and I was intrigued. I'm like, what is this? I did my research, I read the science, and I thought, you know what? I've got to get one of these devices. So I did. I bit the bullet and I spent the money and I bought one. And it was pricey. It was, and they're still kind of pricey, but back then, that was really a lot of money. But I have zero regrets, and it's become just a big part of my overall routine, and I love it. Now, the science behind it is that we all use skincare, and skincare is great. I'm not discounting it. I love it. I talk about it in this video. But skincare can only penetrate the top layer of the skin. It cannot penetrate deeper than that. It cannot go down to a deeper level. It's just not possible. Red light therapy can. Red light therapy with the infrared light is able to penetrate. And some of the things that it does as a result is that it stimulates the production of collagen. It also stimulates elastin in the body. And also it is very good at helping with inflammation. But the most important thing that it does is that it is able to penetrate the mitochondria. So this is the geek out part. But the mitochondria, the way to think about it is that it is the power plant of the cell, the power plant. That's where all the magic happens. And that's where it stimulates that regeneration, that cell turnover, and that's so important. And that is what contributes to the overall texture and tone, or the improvement of the texture and tone of your skin. And that is the only way you're going to get this result. I'm sure there's other expensive ways to do it, but in terms of like a cost-effective way, I would say red light therapy is going to give you your bang for the buck. It's also known to help with acne. I have a friend who actually uses it to help control her acne, and I've also seen now where it's being used for thinning hair. That's another thing. I also once had it applied on my body. I went to go see my chiropractor. I was having issues with my arm, one of my joint in my arm, and so she applied some red light therapy, and it really helped with the inflammation in the joint. So there are so many applications, and now you see it everywhere. Now there are infrared saunas, and you also see those boxes. They're like these boxes where you can kind of slide into them, or you can just put them over certain parts of your body. It's everywhere. It is everywhere. These masks are everywhere now. It's like become the big thing. So a couple of weeks ago, or several weeks ago, my bestie called me and said, hey, I'm interested in a device. Do you have one that you would recommend? And I said to her, mine is pretty old, but let me do some research and let me find one for you. So I did research and I found one, and I said, this one looks pretty good. It's FDA approved. When I went to the website, they were having a buy one, get one. So I thought, wow, I could upgrade and she could cut her cost in half. So it's sort of a win-win. So that's the route that we went. So I'm going to show you the one that we settled on, but this is not sponsored. I am not getting any kind of commission on this. I paid for this with my own money, but I just wanted to share it because I know you're curious, like, what did you get? This brand called Solo Wave. I believe they're still having the buy one, get one if you are interested. This one is FDA approved. It is malleable. Mine was a hard mask and it was a little uncomfortable, but I just sort of got used to it. So it's got Velcro. I'm not going to put it on my face because I've got makeup and my face isn't clean, but you put it around your face and you Velcro it. It's also got these eye protectors. So if you are interested in buying a mask, always make sure it has the eye protectors, because imagine if it's penetrating your skin, you don't want it penetrating your eyeballs. That is very dangerous. It also has a nose flap. You can breathe very easily. It's got a mouth opening so you could insert a straw or food or whatever. It is also portable. My original one was too, but they're not all portable. This is portable, so you can walk around, put this in your pocket. It does not burn. Red light therapy is non-invasive. It doesn't burn. It doesn't hurt. You just don't feel anything. While we were at it, since they were having the buy one get one, I always wanted one for my neck. and my chest. So we each got one of these, and same thing, it just goes around your neck, and it also has the same battery pack. So in the mornings I'm two-fisted. I've got 2 battery packs in my pocket. This one is really, really powerful. So it has a default timer that sets to 3 minutes. But because I've been using this for a long time, a couple of days of the week, I will actually I'll reset it again. So I'll do a total of 6 minutes, but I will only do that 2 days out of the total days that I do use it. So I don't do it all the time. And I really, really like it. I mean, it's a lot more comfortable than mine, and it is a lot more effective than the one. I mean, they've just gotten better and better. So I would highly, highly recommend red light therapy if this is something that you're interested in and you want to improve the overall texture of your skin. And I will say this, in 3 days, you will start to see some noticeable difference. You will see that in your skin. You'll start to say, oh, wow, my skin looks different. And I would say within 30 days, people around you will start to ask you, will start to compliment you and say that your skin looks really great, because others will start to notice it. But I would say in terms of getting more bang for your buck, red light therapy definitely is definitely where it's at. And I would say if you're one to spend a lot of money on expensive skincare products, probably would say the red light therapy is your better bet. But obviously you do you, but that's just my take on it. So I definitely highly recommend red light therapy, and I love it. All right, let's talk about my lymphatic system, or the lymphatic system, and why it's so important before we get into Gua Sha. But I've talked about this several times in several of my videos, but your lymphatic system is a huge network throughout the body that is responsible for moving excess fluids and toxins from the tissue into the bloodstream and eventually out of the body. However, there can be some stagnation where it's not flowing properly, and that can result in your immune system being compromised. You just don't feel good. It could manifest itself in different parts of the body, like your skin, for example. So many different things. Now, this morning, I woke up not feeling so great. You can hear it in my voice. I'm nasally. My nose is runny. My throat was really tender when I woke up this morning, and my ears, typically when I'm feeling around my ears, they feel really tender. So that's how I know that I'm off and that I need to do something. I typically do lymphatic drainage 3 to 4 times a week, and I use my fingers, and I have a quick routine that I do either while I'm washing my face or I do it in the shower. But on days like this where I'm really feeling off, I will use Gua Sha, and Gua Sha is really, really effective for many different things. It's not just, I know you see a lot of videos on YouTube and it's about how to get your face snatched, and yes, it does that, but it also is really good for moving energy throughout the body, and also really effective in helping to drain the lymphatic system. But there are so many benefits of doing Gua Sha. It's not just about being snatched. Okay, so what I typically do is I use oil to help glide the tool around, but I don't like to use oil when it's not winter time, especially if it's daytime, because I don't want that oil sitting on my face during the daytime. It's a little bit too rich. So I like to use I use a water-based gel. You can use like a conductive gel. I just got this on Amazon. I don't know. The brand is Caruno. And it works just fine. It was really inexpensive. I'm not trying to spend a lot of money on these things. I just need something that helps it glide. I have different tools. I have like 5 different ones, but these are just some of them. I like this one. This one is really good at, helping to circulate the blood on the skin. That's really nice. It's a nice tool. And then the one that I tend to use, or the ones that I tend to use, this is the one I use the most, and then I also use this one interchangeably, and I have others, but for today's video, we're just going to focus on these 2. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to, first I'm going to put this gel, but the most important thing that you have to do before is you have to open up the pathways. So along your face, I'll put a diagram up so you can see the network, but primarily we're focusing on the upper area, the face area, and the chest. But within that, you have along your neck, your clavicle area, you have a huge network here along some on your face, but along the side of your face and alongside your ears. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to stimulate it to be able to receive whatever you're doing. So you start off first by massaging along your clavicle, just kind of opening it up very gently, just patting it. And then you also want to open the back of your neck too. And you will feel, if you're really in tune with your body, you'll start to feel just some energy flowing through. I can feel it right now at the bottom, the backs of my legs. So that's pretty cool. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to do this, and you're going to stimulate alongside the bottom of your cheeks and along your ears. So you do this, and now you can see that I'm gently massaging. You want to do that for about 15 times. So I'm going to start off with this tool, and we're going to start off the bottom of the face here, and you just gently pull, and then you're just gliding it. It's not a hard or harsh movement. You're just gliding, and then you're just pushing on those lymph nodes there, and it feels good. You can start to see the blood. I can see it. I'm not sure if it's going to translate, but you can start to see the blood rushing, and you do about 5 times each side. Take it to the next side. And then I just like to move it alongside the cheeks. I'll use this side and just gently. Then I'll use this side here, and I like to go under the eye. Be very gentle. This is your eye area, just gentle. And that feels wonderful. That feels so good. Oh, wow. I'm already feeling my nasal passages draining, and this is TMI, but I can feel the liquid going down the back of my throat. So we're already draining here. Next side. The next thing that I like to do is I'm going to switch tools, and I'm going to use this, and I'm going to get the tops of my forehead. Again, still gentle, and that feels really good. And oddly enough, the tops of my eyebrows seem to have a lot of tension. You'd be really surprised how much tension you store in your overall face. It's not just your jaw, but there's other areas in your face that store tension. It's interesting. Other side. Other eyebrow feels good too. You see how flushed I am. And then I'm just going to do one more point. We've got a lymph node here, so I'm just going to do that. Yeah, that feels really, really good. I'm just going to hit some pressure points on my nose. Oh, that feels good, especially in the eye. This is where there's an exit point here. That feels good. Just hitting certain points. I might go back and hit up above. Also, you can use this on your scalp. You'd be really surprised how much, or maybe you won't be surprised how much tension you carry on your scalp. Oh boy, that feels really good. Anyhow, once you're all done with your gua sha routine, I then will go back to my other tool, and I will just bring it down. I'll drain it since we've exited all the points. I just come in gently, just bring it down. And I can I can feel it already. Draining, 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 draining. And there's my routine. I started doing it several years ago. I stumbled on somebody on Instagram, and I can't remember her name. I'll put her up above. And then I also found somebody on YouTube because it really piqued my interest. And I found somebody on YouTube, and I'll put her up above. But there are so many out there. Yeah, so I mean, if you're interested, it feels fantastic. It just feels good. I feel better. I can feel my nose is already opening up, which is the goal, and I just feel better. So I think it's also really important. I like to drink water after I'm done with this. but I think I'm also going to have a nice dandelion tea. You know, I love the dandelion tea. A nice cup of tea, and then I think I'm just going to wash my face, get my skincare on, and maybe do a little bit of makeup, and I feel so much better. My supplement routine is extremely important to me, and this is probably something that I spend a lot of time researching, or I have spent a lot of time researching, and I take it very seriously because I really try to use it to help me manage through my menopause systems as well as just my overall health. Now, something that I do want to share is that I was not able to take HRTs or hormone replacement therapy, and I'm not going to get into it here, but I wasn't able to do that. So I had to figure out alternative ways to be able to manage through that. So I did figure it all out. So I just want to share that with you and share what I finally have come up with and what is working for me. I also want to say that it's not lost on me that my routine, I'm not going to say that it's inexpensive, and I'm just going to come on and say it does cost money, but to me, it's important because it is my health and it has helped me tremendously navigate through menopause, but it's also helping me with my general health. So I'm going to break it down into two segments. The supplements that I take for just overall general health, and then those supplements that I've been taking to help me manage through menopause. So we'll talk about that. In the morning, I take 10 supplements a day. And then in the evening, I take 6 supplements. Some of those are repeats, and we'll talk about that, meaning that I take them twice a day. The other thing that I wanted to stress is that it's really important to do your research about where the ingredients are coming from or who the company is, because unfortunately there are so many companies jumping on the supplement bandwagon, and they either don't have the efficacy that they claim to have, they don't have all of the ingredients in the quantities that they spec, or sometimes they have high levels of lead or cadmium, and you have to be really careful because that can really, really hurt you. So I think it's just really important to do your research, and not necessarily every supplement that you hear about is something that's right for you. It may not be right for you. One of the things that I do before I put anything in my body is I stumbled upon this website called Consumer Labs, and I'll put all the information above, but it was founded by a doctor, and his mission really is to research all of these supplements to make sure, one, that they have the efficacy that they say, that they claim to have, that they have the level of ingredients that they claim to have. And he and his team will always test for cadmium and lead, because you would be really, really surprised that some of them exceed the FDA does allow for some levels of it, and they're very, very, very small particles. But this particular website does research to show you where it actually goes above those acceptable levels, which I do appreciate. So I definitely will always go to that website before I determine that I'm going to ingest something and put it into my body. Let's get started with my morning routine. Let's do this rapid fire because otherwise it's going to take us a long time. So the first part of this in my morning routine is everything that I take for general health. So the first thing that I take is a multivitamin, and this one I really, really like. The next thing I take is a B12 supplement, and that's essential for nerve tissue health, for brain function, and for red blood cell formation. So that one is one that I take. I introduced CoQ10, which I've been wanting to take into my routine. It is a potent antioxidant to prevent cellular damage. The other one that I take is a digestive enzyme. That's pretty self-explanatory. I take that twice a day. And then the last one for overall general health is a vitamin D/K, which enhances bone health, cardiovascular functions, and your immune system strength. So that's just my general health. Now, in terms of what I use to manage through my menopause, the first one on the list is DIM. I don't know how to say the full name, and I'll put that up on the screen, but DIM. And basically, It's used to help support your hormone balance, specifically by promoting healthy estrogen metabolism. And if you know, your estrogen is a huge part in managing through menopause. And since I've been taking this for over 10 years, I do not suffer from hot flashes, nor do I have night sweats. This has really, really helped me. In fact, I stopped taking it for a little bit and I started to feel hot flashes coming on, and I knew that this was absolutely the reason why I had been managing my menopause so effectively. So I immediately obviously went back on it. So very, very important to me. The next one is CLA, which is conjugated lactic acid. I've been taking this for over 10 years. This one is known to increase lean muscle mass and improve your overall metabolic health. So that's a very important one. And then there's 3 more. T4, T3 is something that I take. And this one really helps overall manage your thyroid and your hormone production and your hormones. And this is extremely critical when you're in menopause. This one has really, really helped me tremendously. I also I have a lot of hair, thick hair, and I had been losing some hair, and I started to freak out about it. And that's the reason why I kind of went down this path. It really immediately helped with that. But it also had so many other benefits, and it really helped me through menopause. So I'm really grateful to have found that. The last 2 are the magnesium L-threonate. There are many, many different types of magnesium, so you kind of have to do your research to figure out what you're trying to accomplish in your own body. But this is where I settled. I settled on this one, primarily used to enhance cognitive function like your memory, focus, and learning, improve your sleep quality, reduce stress, and alleviate anxiety. So all of these things are things that we suffer through when we're going through menopause. I know it rings a bell. I know you know what I'm talking about. But this has been really fantastic. The last one that I take is something called a cortisol burn, and this is something that my nutritionist Haley Pomeroy, she has a line of supplements, and I do purchase her supplements, but this is one that I just recently introduced. This one is just to help alleviate the occasional fatigue, to promote mental clarity and support relaxation and restful sleep. So these are the 10 that I take. Some, like I mentioned, were just overall general health, but a good chunk of them are really to help me manage through my menopause. I take 6 supplements in the evening, 4 of which are repeats, so we've already talked about them, but I will mention them again. The first one is the DIM. I take that morning, and then I take that in the evening. The next one that I take is the CLA. I take that twice a day. And then the next one that I take is the magnesium threonate. I take that twice a day. And then the next one, the repeat, is a digestive enzyme. So those 4 I take in the morning, and then I take again in the evening. The first one that I take is a fish oil, which is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, your EPA, your DHA, which supports your cardiovascular health. It lowers your triglycerides, it reduces your blood pressure, and just overall helping you to manage your cholesterol. So that one is really, really important for everyone, regardless. The last one that I take is a vitamin E supplement, which helps protect cells from oxidative damage. It supports your immune function and promotes skin and heart health. So those are all 6 that I take in the evening time. And again, these have been so important to my overall health, so important to me, and I just wanted to share what I take.